Warning, if you're trying to heal eczema, psoriasis, or rosacea, do not neglect the cleanses like the salt flush, the coffee enema, and the liver gallbladder flush. When Dan Walker joined my private coaching, he looked like this. He was feeling pretty thin and had really bad eczema and psoriasis on his neck, on his arms, on his torso, and on his face. Dan had been suffering with this condition for over 5 years, and after working with me one-on-one, totally clear skin in just 102 days. And not only did it reverse his eczema, but you can obviously see he put on about 30 pounds of muscle. Pretty insane in such a short amount of time. He looks like a totally different dude. One of the most vital changes that we did to his program was we added in cleanses and a very strategic detox schedule. His pathways of elimination were extremely backed up, but after completing the scheduled cleanses and detoxification practices, his filtration system, lymphatic system, and his digestion got back on track in a major way. To be honest, Dan probably would not have been able to heal his skin if he didn't do the cleanses. Reversing your skin disease is a holistic practice. Cannot rely upon diet changes alone. For Dan and many others like myself, the cleansing and detoxification practices done in a very specific way move the needle far enough for him to finally heal his skin. All right, you guys, so in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through the entire detox routine that we put Dan through that helped him heal his skin. Here's what you're gonna learn in today's video. Number 1, the 4 cleanses and how to do them correctly. Number 2, how often to do these cleanses and how to make a personalized detoxification program like Dan did. Number 3, common pitfalls that sabotage the cleansing and detoxification experience. And number 4, and this is the one that you're gonna really wanna pay attention to, there is some secret sauce to this. There are some details that really matter. I'm gonna cover all of those and unpack them in detail. So these are the 4 detoxification cleansing practices that I use with my clients. I've worked with over 2,600 people over the last decade. These are the simplest, these are the most effective, these are the safest. There are a ton of different crazy cleanses out there, and I'll tell you what, straight from the get-go, most of them are ineffective and lead to more issues. That's why we use these conservative and safe ones. Let's get to it. The easiest, most straightforward one to understand is water fasting. And water fasting is when you eat 0 calories and you consume only water. 24 hours, 48 hours. Some people do 3 to 5 days, and some crazy people think that fasting for more than 3 to 5 days is gonna make something magical happen within your body, and it won't. Normally it leads to actually more inflammation. The whole point of water fasting is just to give your body a break from digesting food. So if you're new to water fasting, try a 1-day, 24-hour water fast. Don't eat the entire day, drink plenty of water, do lots of relaxation, do lots of documentary movie watching, stretch, do yoga, take walks, go outside. But your goal is to recover and chill out and not stress out the body. Allow it to completely reset its digestion, and then the following day, get back to eating your healthy stuff. If you find that a 24-hour water fast really makes you feel amazing, you may try stretching it to 48 hours or 3 days at the most. From my experience, and I have done long water fasting, big mistake, 3 days is about all that you would ever need to completely reset the mechanism. If you need more than 3 days of water fasting, most of the time, those people are, unfortunately, have it backwards. They need nourishing, not more water fasting. So be conservative with your water fasting. Healing the body is more about rebalancing and nourishing, and water fasting is just a tool to hit the reset button. Number 2, and this is probably one of the best cleanses. It's so easy, it's very thorough, and sometimes for some people it's a little awkward to do it first. It was for me. That's the coffee enema. Let me explain how to do a coffee enema. So you will need some equipment. Luckily it's cheap. There's 2 main types of coffee enema bags. There is basically like a metal tin, and there is the rubber one. The metal tin is a little bit better. The rubber one works just fine though. There's a hose that connects to a little clip, and the clip allows the flow of the coffee to stop or start. And then there's a little plastic device that is very teeny tiny, and that is what inserts into your anus. Yes, your rectum. A coffee enema is just that. It's sending coffee up into your body. It interacts with all sorts of things, especially the liver, especially the kidneys. It creates an atmosphere that the liver and the kidneys can completely release their bile and detoxify themselves. That toxic load enters the intestines, enters the pathways of elimination, and flushes out of the body. Another great thing that the coffee enema does is the kind of slightly granular nature of the coffee works as a very gentle kind of like paintbrush that's knocking off calcified garbage within the intestines. So the coffee enema recipe is very straightforward. It's 3 to 5 cups of high quality water with 3 to 5 tablespoons of high quality coffee. I personally like organic dark roast for enemas. To me, it just noticeably works the best. Again, I've done a ton of enemas with my clients. Actually, my clients have done a ton of enemas and reported back their findings to me. Over the past 10 years, I've probably been involved with thousands, literally thousands of people doing enemas. I haven't had anybody have an issue with it, get sick from it, have any type of issue with it. These measurements though, the 3 to 5 cups of water and the 3 to 5 tablespoons of the coffee, you put those into the boiling water, you mix it up, you let it cool down to room temperature, and then you pour it into your enema device. Here's where you're gonna wanna go into the bathroom. I prefer laying down in the tub, putting the coffee enema device up high so it has some ability to use gravity, put the device in using a little bit of lube, unclip the clip, let the coffee go up inside you, and once it's inside of you, you can take the tube out of your butt, put it to the side. And here's where you're just gonna wanna sit back and relax and just feel your body. First time you do it, you may only last 2 to 5 minutes because the body will go through these contractions that'll make you feel like you wanna get up and really use the bathroom. If you can breathe through these contractions and make it to the 10, 15, 20 minute mark, that's about all that you ever need with a coffee enema. 15 to 25 minutes is a perfect amount for them to work really, really, really well. Once you kind of feel like you need to get up and use the bathroom and your body is gonna go, get up, sit on the toilet, let all hell break loose, and all sorts of things could come out of you. Now, the coffee's gonna come out of you, and poop's gonna come out of you, and all sorts of other things like parasites or little gallstones or liver stones or little balls of calcified goobery nastiness. Don't be alarmed, perfectly normal. Also, if it's your first time to do a coffee enema, you may find that you need a little space in the morning because you might be pooping a lot. And notice I did say morning. Coffee enemas are to be done first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. During your scheduling of your enemas, meaning how many you're gonna do per week and per month, and I'm gonna get to that next, you really wanna be cognizant of the day that you're doing them. You don't wanna schedule your coffee enema on a really busy, challenging day. You wanna schedule all of these cleanses on days where you can chill out, relax, take your time, and not rush the process. Staying in a chill and relaxed state of mind during the healing process, and especially during these cleanses, is a really good thing to practice. So deep breathing, meditation, breath work, visualization, self-talk, whatever you need to do to keep yourself mellow during these cleanses is a really good thing to do. So do them first thing in the morning. Make sure your schedule is conducive with not rushing. And that's really it. Coffee enemas are super, super basic. Moving on. This one may be the most simple cleanse. It's the salt flush. So this is number 3. And the salt flush, again, it's very, very simple. It's very straightforward. I've done it with thousands and thousands of my clients. The way you do it is 32 ounces of quality water. I like natural spring water that comes out of the ground with nothing added to it. That's my favorite type of water. 32 ounces of water, 2 teaspoons of quality salt, like Celtic salt, like Redmond salt, any type. Aztec salt's also great. There are some good salt brands out there. Those are my 3 favorite. And you mix the salt into the water, stir it up, drink it down. And here's where the X factor comes in. somewhere between 15 minutes and a couple hours, the salt water is going to work its way through you. It's going to pull toxins in, and then it's going to flush them out of your intestines in the form of watery, wet, explosive poop. The salt flush is one of those cleanses that doesn't always work, and that's okay. You don't have to freak out. It's not very much salt. People really freak out and are like, oh my God, the salt flush didn't work and this salt is stuck in me. Am I gonna die? Am I gonna have a heart attack? No, there's less salt in a salt flush than there is in a order of small fries from McDonald's. And I know every single one of you guys have eaten plenty of fries from McDonald's and not worried about it at all. So I wouldn't worry too much about watery salt. Again, the salt flush is an amazing thing to do on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning, on a day where you can allow yourself to poop a lot. If the salt flush does not work for you as an individual, you have a couple options. One, just don't do them and do something else. Two, try warming up the water and or a different type of salt. So if the first time you do it, you use cool water and some form of Celtic salt, and it doesn't work, the next time try Redmond's and room temperature or warm water. If the salt flushes continually don't work for you, then just don't do them. And number 4, this is the big boy cleanse. This one takes 3 days. This one doesn't need to be done very often because it really does move and shift things around a lot. Day 3 of this cleanse, which is the liver gallbladder flush, is the day that you want to be cognizant of when you're scheduling this, because on day 3, again, like the salt flush and the enema, your body is going to be purging. You might be pooping and peeing way more than normal, which is normal, doing these types of things. Here's how we do the liver gallbladder flush, and you might want to pause the video at different times and take notes and write this down because the details on this one do matter. So day 1 for the liver gallbladder flush, you're going to have 10 apples on top of your normal healthy diet. And I do have to stress your healthy normal diet. If you're not eating healthy, there's no need to cleanse because you're just going to be circulating toxicity throughout your entire body over and over and over again. It's not going to do anything. We need to have the diet healthy, minimum healthy, so that these cleanses can actually do their thing. So on day 1, along with your healthy normal diet, eat 10 apples or the equivalent in apple juice or the equivalent in malic acid. We're trying to front load malic acid into the liver gallbladder. Day 2, and that's it. 10 apples, eat your normal diet, day 1. Day 2 is at 2 p.m. You will stop eating normal food for the day. So 2 p.m. is your cutoff. At 2 p.m., we're going to add 4 tablespoons of Epsom salt. But here's the thing, the Epsom salt has to be food grade. This is very important. We're going to add that to 3 cups of water, do it in a glass mason jar, shake it up, mix it around, and put it in your fridge for later. At 5 o'clock that night on day 2, you're going to drink 3/4 of a cup of that salt mix, and then you're just going to chill out. Then at 7, you're going to repeat that. You're going to drink another 3/4 of a cup of that salt mix, and then you're going to chill out. It's going to be lots of chilling when it comes to cleansing. Now, at 9 o'clock is where the magic starts to happen. What we're going to do is we're going to blend a 1/2 cup of quality extra virgin olive oil with 1 full grapefruit in the blender. Blend it up, drink that down. It actually tastes really good. You don't want to rush through it. You don't have to chug it, but you don't want to labor through this drink and drink it for like 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Like, get it in your system. We want it going through your system in a quick amount of time. That's a major thing. Don't drink it slow. Once you have finished your blended mix of the grapefruit and olive oil, do nothing else. Go directly to bed. And if you don't go to bed at 9 o'clock, then do it right before your bedtime. Obviously, typically we don't want to eat right before bed, but this is a specific methodology that's going to elicit a response. So it's okay for tonight. So right before bed, take that mix and go right to sleep. It's a good idea to lay on your right side, especially when you're sleeping, because it's going to help things get to the right places. All right, you wake up in the morning and you're going to drink another 3/4 cup of that salt mix. 2 hours later, you're going to have your last dose, 3/4 cup of the salt mix, and then you're done. The X factor though is what will happen. So generally, after someone has their last round of salt water, like the salt flush and like the enema, the body will release the demons out of your body. Sometimes people have a strong response on day 2 to the salt mix and have some extra pooping. Totally normal. Sometimes people end up really pooping and peeing a lot on day 3 of the liver gallbladder flush. Again, I'll emphasize, when you're scheduling this, make sure that day 3 and maybe even day 2 are on days where you do not have a ton of things to do, where you're going to have stress, where you're going to have to give some type of presentation or sit through meetings. You want to have them be like a staycation, a relaxation, a meditative day, a fun, relaxing, easy peasy type of day. Those are the 4 cleanses. We don't have to do much more than that. Now, there are other autophagy practices, and I will get to those later. So how many salt flushes, liver gallbladder flushes, and coffee enemas should you be doing? Here's where we're going to cover how to customize the detox schedule. Again, this is a very important detail, because if you over cleanse and if you detox too much, it is not going to lead to the healing of anything. It's going to dilute your body. It's going to lead to malnourishment, and it's actually going to be a little too rough on the digestion and the intestines and the entire lymphatic system, which is what we're trying to avoid. We're actually trying to elicit a response from the filtration system and the filtration organs to ditch the toxins, and that's it. We don't want to wear them out. We don't want to be aggressive with this. So in the first 3 months, cleanse heavy. The following 9 months, cleanse heavy for 4 to 6 weeks, and then light for 4 to 6 weeks. It can be that basic, and should be that basic. Now, what do I mean by heavy month of cleansing or a light month of cleansing? Here we go. So a heavy month of cleansing is 2 to 5 salt flushes or coffee enemas per week. I'll repeat, heavy cleansing month is 2 to 5 cleanses, the salt flush, the coffee enema per week. A light cleansing month would be 2 to 5 salt flushes or coffee enemas for the entire month. Now, how do you know if you should do 2 or 5 in the heavy or light cleansing months? This is where you have to take some personal stock and learn about your needs, your personality, and what you gravitate towards. If you're someone who doesn't need a ton of detoxification, maybe has done some in the past, maybe your body fat and your body weight is pretty normal and pretty healthy, you could probably get away with only 2 cleanses. But let's say you're also someone, on the other hand, that has a little bit of weight to lose. You have not cleansed ever in your life, and you feel like you have a huge toxic load in your system. You might want to lean towards the 5 mark. Again, you really want to just pay attention to who you are, what you gravitate towards, and make this blueprint personalized to yourself. You can always use these as needed though. Again, these aren't hard rules. This is just a blueprint for you to follow so that you can customize it and learn how to do this yourself. And what do I mean as use these cleanses as needed? Let's say you're doing a heavy cleansing month, and on week 3, you just have a very stressful week. You eat some really crappy foods and you get some really crappy sleep. You might off schedule plan to do a salt flush and an enema just to focus yourself on the solution, reset the mechanism, get back on track, and clean out the system. That's what these things do a great job doing as a reset mechanism as well. Now, the liver gallbladder flush, all you need to do is do it 1 time in the first 3 months. Then you'll want to do it 2 more times in the following 9 months. So that means during the first year of healing, you're going to want to do the gallbladder flush, the liver gallbladder flush, 3 total times. You don't need more than that. Now, with the water fasting, this is where you have some room to experiment. Again, if you're a super healthy body fat, body weight, you really shouldn't be doing more than maybe one 24-hour water fast per month total. If you have, again, body fat and body weight to lose, and a 24-hour water fast for you feels really good and is super easy, you might do 2 or 3 on a super heavy month and 0 on a light month. The water fasting is not for everybody, but for those who it feels good for, it doesn't feel like it depletes you, it's a very simple way to get the job done. Once you hit the year mark, so that covers a detox schedule for the first year of healing. Once you hit the year mark, then you're in maintenance mode. And this is where the customization of the diet and having a really healthy lifestyle is most important. You can use for the next 50, 100 years of your life, depending on how old you are, because we're all going to live to 120, right? You can use these as needed, or like I do, I will do a quarterly cleanse or a once per year cleanse. And what that looks like is one heavy week of cleansing where I do 5 enema, 5 salt flushes, 5 total salt flushes and enema, so maybe 3 of one and 2 of the other, and 1 liver gallbladder flush, and that's it. I might do that twice per year, or once per year, I might just do a month of heavy cleansing, 2 to 5 salt flushes and enemas, 1 liver gallbladder flush, 24-hour water fast, and that's it. Here's some pitfalls that you definitely want to avoid, and these are very simple to avoid, so we don't have to overthink this. But cleansing too much, and I'll reemphasize this several times throughout the video, so I hope you're picking up on that. Over cleansing does not help, but neither does not cleansing at all. If you don't cleanse at all and you're eating a healthy diet and your body is not changing, it's because your body is so backed up with toxins and toxicity. Your filtration system, your lymphatic system, your filtration organs, your intestines, and your digestion and your gut biome are not able to digest and assimilate food the way they should. Why? Because the body is burdened by the toxic load. Getting that toxic load out of your body then allows the gut biome and the nutrition that you're eating from the food to actually heal you and nourish you. So relying on cleansing alone isn't going to do anything if your diet sucks. And if your diet sucks, you can't cleanse the bad health away. So be moderate with your cleansing. Don't overdo it. Don't underdo it. And make sure that you're eating healthy, customized diet during the process of healing. Or the cleansing and detoxification practices just kind of don't do much. So what's the real secret to making this detoxification protocol work well for you? One is to infuse it into your lifestyle and use these basic principles to make your own customized schedule that works really well for you, that you can fit into your lifestyle, that you can sustain without stress, and that you can be consistent with. Here's something to keep in mind, and this is one of the biggest things, and I foreshadowed it with the common pitfalls, but you cannot cleanse eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, autoimmune diseases away. You cannot cleanse or detox your way to good health. The big secret is that you have to open up your pathways of elimination, plus eat a healthy diet, or what happens when you cleanse is you actually will re-tox your body. Meaning, if your pathways of elimination are not open, and you're doing enemas and salt flushes and liver gallbladder flush, and these amazing cleanses gather up all the toxins, then they have nowhere to go, meaning the pathways of elimination aren't open, so they can't expel them out of the body. What happens? They recirculate back into the lymph, back into the filtration organs, and back into the blood, generally making us feel worse and triggering all sorts of extra autoimmune issues, which we're trying to avoid. So how do we open up the pathways of elimination? These cleanses and detoxification practices help, but there's other autophagy practices that help open up the pathways of elimination. Big time. First of all, what are the pathways of elimination for those of you who don't know? That's your pee, that's your poo, and that's your sweat. That's the only pathways of elimination for the human body. The toxins aren't getting out of you any other way. Through the skin, through the anus, and through the pee hole. Autophagy practices, meaning things that enhance your body's autophagy. And what do I mean by autophagy? While you sleep, your body goes through its repair cycles. On a mitochondrial cellular level, the cells actually cleanse and detoxify themselves. This turning over of cells is called autophagy. And we want to enhance autophagy by doing practices that open up the pathways of elimination and prepare our bodies when we sleep during our circadian rhythm to have good autophagy. So things like walking. Every single day, walking needs to happen. It's a major way to open up the pathways of elimination. Number 2, hydration and proper electrolyte balance, which comes from the diet and consuming enough liquids. Number 3, things like cold exposure, sauna, and really powerful moving of the body with resistance training and more vigorous exercise. So we need plenty of movement, plenty of stretching, and plenty of just being a human on a daily basis, like a lot, like minimum an hour walk every single day for most people. And then on top of that, things like sauna, cold exposure, lifting weights. These things open up the pathways of elimination, and they allow the cleansing and the detoxification practices to work. So the secret sauce is 1, making sure that your diet is clean. 2, making sure that your lifestyle is giving your body enough reasons to open up the pathways of elimination so that the toxicity can leave your body and not retox yourself, and to stay super consistent with the entire process. Dry brushing, lymphatic massage, any type of massage or body work, hot yoga, all of these things are great ways to open the pathways of elimination. Getting your circulation moving, sweating, hydration, proper diet, mixed with the detoxification practices. Basic, simple, but that's the sweet spot. If you guys would like a complete guide, I'm talking how to customize the diet, how to do the cleansing and detoxification practices, and how to do all of the lifestyle adjustments, I did create an hour-long video here on YouTube. It's totally free. There's no catches. It covers everything. Funnily, is that a word? Funny enough, I've seen a lot of people's courses, other skin health coaches courses. There's more information in this free hour-long video than any course that I've seen, period. So watch the video. It will send you into the right spot. I will link it down below in the description box. Anyways, guys, I hope this helps you. I hope this is starting to become very clear what the mission is if you really do want to heal your skin and reverse skin disease for the rest of your life, like I have, like many of my clients have. I want to leave you with this. Don't get overwhelmed by all this. Like anything, learning takes some time. You may not master it your first try. You might fail. That's okay. I failed a whole shit ton when I was putting this process together 20 years ago and learning about all these different things. My failures taught me how I needed to customize and change these things up to fit my personal needs. I suggest you guys do the same. I don't want anything that I put out to be black and white. I'm not prescribing anything to anybody. This information is for you to learn and then make your own. There are some key elements though, and I cover all of them in the video link down in the description box. Anyway, guys, much love. I'll go old school YouTube sign out. Leave all your comments and questions down below. Subscribe and share. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope this is helpful. Last thing, for those of you who are still watching, you guys are probably very serious about healing your skin. What are you struggling with? What topics do you need me to cover so that I can help you move to that next level with your health journey? That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help. Much love, and I'll see you soon in other videos. Remember, if you do need a little more information about how to do these cleanses, if I went through it too quickly, I do have in-depth videos, step-by-step videos for each one of these things: water fasting, liver gallbladder flush, salt flushes, coffee enemas. Good luck, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.